Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. And I'm gonna be updating my Gym Knight FTK. Since we lost Invoker and Goblin, which were two cards that I use very frequently as part of my FTK. But just wanted to let you guys know we can obviously FTK without those cards, especially since I was already FTKing before Goblin came out with the Flames of Destruction, which kind of sad. The card wasn't alive that long before getting banned. And as far as Invoker goes, Invoker was literally just there just to load Earths in our grave early. But you're able to load your grave with Earth pretty fast, pretty consistently. That's all Invoker was really here for, just to put 2 extra Earths, being the Goblinberg and the Invoker. That is literally all he did. You could still do the FTK without it. You could still play the plants. They give you extra special summon monsters. They give you extra link fodder to do a lot of different things. And Call by the Great going to 2 didn't really hurt that much either, because there's other cards you could play that help you to stop hand traps. And this deck is pretty good at chain blocking still. So overall, it's still a powerful deck. If you're curious why I'm recording like this, I said it in a lot of my videos. I'm recording on my ottoman. All my video cameras and stuff like that are up here on my ottoman because I moved, and my table is currently not in my house right now, so I can't record on my table. But I'm pretty comfortable the way this is, so let's hop into the main deck. We have Triple Block Dragon, my favorite monster in this deck. The ultimate, the ultimate Spiral Master Plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, way better than actual Master Plan. It's actually a +2 when you resolve it. Sometimes it's even a +3 depending on how you use it. It's insane. It's such a retarded card. It's not once returned. You can only summon him by his own effect, but the way he summons himself is not once returned, so you can actually use him for extra linking and stuff like that if you want to take that route. I've always said it, Gym Knights is just one of the decks that you can play in so many different ways. I've played Rock Stun with Kawaki Marus. If you guys don't know what Kawaki Marus are, just look them up. While I was using Block Dragon to search those, I played Tides of the Brethren, the Earth Barrier statue, Fossil Dyna Paraphernalia. I did, pretty much Firewall Turbo. When Firewall is at 3, I was doing, with a 3-card combo, I was making triple Firewall, Trigate, Baguska, just some nutty stuff. But right now, FTK is the way. Block Dragon is just retarded. It's the best card in the deck, really. Resolving this is how you get to your FTK. You can FTK without it, but this makes the FTK a lot easier, a lot more self-contained, with the minimum resources required. Just 2 cards. All the FTKs are 2-card combos. 3-card combos are when you get hand trapped and you have to take another route. So you have to use one of the other 3 cards in your hand. But when I say 2 cards, it's literally just self-contained too. Rescue Rabbit, naturally, it's just one of the better starter cards. It's really incredible. It loads your grave with Earth for your Block Dragon, and it's just so insane. It's the best Ash Blossom bait. It's easy to bait Ash. You just want to hold your call by, and if you have Drag Down, you're gonna play it first. But if you have call by, you want to hold it for the Droll, because Ogre does nothing and Permanence does nothing. Like, it doesn't really hurt. So these are your ridiculously over the top combos that when they resolve, they get you so much advantage that it's very, very hard to lose once you get that much advantage, once you get those resources. Not saying it's impossible to lose, it's just so hard for you to lose. I still play the plants regardless of Invoker being banned. The plants act as extra ways to get to your fusions. More importantly, they get you access to your Brilliant Fusion, which is a lot more powerful, because accessing Brilliant Fusion naturally allows you to get to Phantom Course, which gets you your Gym Knight Fusion in return. So Brilliant Fusion ultimately is just one of the best plays of the deck. And playing the plants not only get you your Brilliant Fusion, but they give you free link fodder, free special summon monsters for your burn increments for your Lapis Lazuli to OTK your opponent. And I also play the Triple Scorpio. So Triple on Fire, Triple Scorpio. These 12 are your better starter cards that are non-Gym Knight archetype based. I play 1 Cobra as part of the package. For your Gym Knight cards, we play Triple Armadillo. I don't understand why people cut this card. This is one of the best normal summons of the deck. It's not about it paying for itself. It's that it gives you a gem on field, which you need. It gives you an Earth to go in your grave, which you need. And it gets you any Gym Knight monster that you need. It gives you 3 different things that you need. And it's not once returned, so you can Seraphinite and normal a second copy. I don't understand why people don't play 3 of this card. But it's totally personal preference, right? But me personally, I played Gym Knights for well over 4 years. So I kind of just I know what cards are valuable and I know what's not. And I know how important this card really is. People just don't get how important Gem Armadillo truly is. But it's really that important. Triple Obsidian. You have to think of it like your Predaplant is one normal summon. Your Seraphonite is going to give you either Rescue Rabbit or Gym Armadillo. Those are literally the only normal summons of the deck. Once you resolve one of your plants, you're going to get another normal summon, not because you're going to Brilliant Fusion for the Seraphonite, but because you're going to make the Seraphonite regardless in the middle of your combo. This or Rescue Rabbit, either one of them are going to search you a Gym Knight monster that you need, which is really important. So, again, Armadillo Stratos. And then triple Obsidian. Obsidian is ridiculous. It's one of the best overextenders. Not overextenders, but one of the best extenders. Because it's not once per turn, it allows you to spit out more monsters for your burn increments. It allows you to make better link monsters. You easily abuse it when you get hand trapped. You can make a firewall and add 2 of these back, and you can still finish your FTK just out of that. Just absurd combos for this deck. Triple Lazuli. Lazuli is probably better than Obsidian. Considering how many times you abuse it, I use it at least minimum 4 times in my combo, because I end up resolving 1, put it back, or if I resolve 2, I put them both back with Phantom Quartz, and then keep dumping them off of Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose dumps twice, then you dump off Lapis Lazuli, and then you dump off Master Diamond. So you get to dump 4 times minimum, excluding, you drawing it and resolving its effect. It allows you to continue to use the same exact resources over and over and over. You just basically recycle, which is really, really phenomenal for what the deck is supposed to do. Triple Tourmaline. Tourmaline is the vanilla I chose to go for, because playing second, it helps to make Prismara into out-problematic cards, such as Floodgates, such as monsters that don't let you search, for example, like a Thunder King, or let's say, for example, you're playing against Altergeist. It's a good way to pop the Protocol, or to bait the Protocol, or to bait, like the Multi-Faker Sodaqueeze play. Just overall, Tourmaline is just a really good card, and it just makes one of the better fusions. I do play 1 Lapis. This is the correct number. You don't play more Lapis. You play the minimum of the vanilla Gym Knights, and you play maximum of the other cards. You're going to get these regardless. You make all of your extra deck cards solely off of these 4 vanillas. I do not play Pot of Desires, because this deck has very important one-ofs that are the Cobra, the Lapis, and the Rose. Because of that, I don't have to worry about, banishing my combo pieces anyways. So like I said, you only need 1 Lapis, I promise you. And once you draw it, it's not like you're going to need to search a second one. I think the main reason people play multiples is because they want more targets for Rescue Rabbit. But you could put your Rabbit targets back into your deck anyways. It doesn't matter. And even if you draw 2 Tourmalines and a Rabbit, you can still do your full combo regardless. It doesn't matter. And then the Crystal Rose, this deck is afforded so many extenders. It's actually bananas. This deck is very bonkers. I think it is better than Goki's. It's more consistent than Goki's. It gets its combo started better than Goki's. It can FTK or extra link. It can hand loop you if you want to play Gumblar. The only thing is the extra deck gets so tight sometimes that you have to find a slot for Gumblar, which can be your number 15 slot, which for me, that would be my number 15 slot, the Gumblar. But this deck can do anything. Goki's really do what this deck does, because this deck's older. It came out first. And Phantom Quartz came out before Goki's got their Nightmare package, which is true. So this deck, honestly, I feel like Goki's are jockeying my Gym Knights low-key. But yeah, this is all for the monsters. You don't play hand traps, not because hand traps are for vaginas. I think I said vaginas in the last video. Which, low-key, when you're playing a deck like this, yeah. But you don't play hand traps because you don't need them. You can go second, FTK. You can go first, FTK. They have hand traps, chain block, call by the grave, drag down to the grave. Man, this deck only loses to itself. It only loses to itself, bro. I top with this deck with no hand traps, no kaijus, no spear modes, no nothing. I think the best card I played in my side deck, I side decked evenly matches and red reboots, but I didn't play like any. Main deck was still the same. I was going second all day and was just demolishing people. This deck does not need hand traps. We have triple Brilliant Fusion. Probably the best starter of the spells. It's probably the best starter spell in your deck. It's better than Gym Knight Fusion because it gets you your Gym Knight Fusion anyway. So I think Brilliant Fusion is just one of those cards, man. And I'm so grateful that this card is still at 3. And then we have triple Gym Knight Fusion. One of the most, if not the most, the most abusive fusion spell in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You can actually make your entire extra deck just off of this 1. But you play 3 because you like to draw it. Because sometimes you either can't make Phantom Quartz without wasting resources, or if your opponent Ash Blossoms your Phantom Quartz, for example, it's always nice to already have that Gym Knight Fusion in your hand, because Phantom Quartz's effect to search is only once per turn. So playing 3 of it is very important. Triple Unexpected Die. It's one of my favorite starter cards. Once people understand how this deck works, a lot of people actually Ash Blossom this, and it does make sense. If you have this plus a plant, you can still FTK. If you have this plus Gymnite Fusion, plus Breeding Fusion, you can FTK. If you have this plus Rabbit and Block Dragon, that would be a 3-card combination. You can not only FTK, but you can do it and keep like so much extra deck cards still in your extra deck. You can actually just FTK off of the Rabbit and the Block Dragon if you have another Earth in your hand, but with this, it gives you the 3rd Earth that you need, because Rabbit will give you 2, and then this will give you the 3rd Earth. So there's just like so many different combinations of cards, but the most of the time, it's always 2-card combos, and this is always one of the combo pieces when you draw it in your hand. It's a part of your FTK. So it's very important to draw, that's why I play 3 of it. And to stop hand traps, we play 2 Called by the Grave and 2 Dragged Down by the Grave. No, I don't think you need 3 of any of them. And it's not about drawing multiples. It's just you only need to really draw 1 of these. The only hand trap that can stop you is going to be Joel and Lockbird. And that's only if you're searching before you resolve Block Dragon. If you have a way to resolve Block Dragon without searching, Joel doesn't do anything because you don't search anymore after that. The next hand trap would probably be Ash Blossom, because it's a lot harder to chain block your Block Dragon. Like, you have to protect your Block Dragon's resolution. If you need to, you got to mask it with other chain links, with other card effects. So, you know, holding it for Ash and Joel is pretty much all you need. This deck plays around Ghost Ogre because Block Dragon doesn't let your opponent Ghost Ogre your stuff. And if they Valor or Impermanence, they Valor or Impermanence Phantom Quartz. That's what they always do, and it never stops you. We have 1 Soul Charge. And plus, they always Valor and Impermanence on summon. So you make a 2nd Phantom Quartz and then use his effect to Fusion Summon, still FTK them. So we have Soul Charge and Foolish as the only one-ofs of the deck. Foolish is just utility. It can be your 4th Block Dragon. It could be your Crystal Rose. It could be your Lazuli. It could be so many different things. Every time it's in your hand, it complements your best hands and makes them, like, unstoppable. And if you get hand trapped, it's another way for you to make your FTK happen. And then Soul Charge is just retarded, bro. Like, it doesn't even matter that you don't get a battle phase. This deck never needs a battle phase. It's an FTK deck. That's the main deck. I believe it's 41 or 42. It actually doesn't even matter whether it's 41 or 42 because the deck is so raw consistent. So our extra deck, we have the King and the Queen. It's important to play the Queen now because guess what? Goblin's banned. We can't get that normal summon for Goblin, so we actually have to abuse Seraphonite with our Lady Brilliant Diamond. It's better to use Brilliant Diamond for Seraphonite. That way you can keep your Crystal Rose in your main deck and just search it and add it to your hand. And then normal summon it, use this effect, then banish, add it, special it from grave, and use this effect again as an extender. So the Queen and the King plus their little thought. And then we also have the best thought in the extra deck. Hands down, she hold it down. 2 copies of Lapis Lazuli. All you need, I promise you don't need 3. I promise you don't need 3. 2 copies of Zirconia, because a lot of the times you're making him in the middle of your combo multiple times. We have 1 Prismara. You can summon it, use this effect, make Master Diamond, use it again. You can put it back to your extra deck, summon it a 2nd time. You only need 1. That's it for the fusions. We have double Phantom Quartz. Normally, resolving this means game. This is just like a Soul Day, or a Soul Day is just like this. Why 3 stacks? Because on summon, what does the Soul Day do? Search, right? What does this card do? On summon, it searches. And then it has another effect where you can pay cost and summon another monster. What does the Soul Day do? Pay cost and summon another monster. So they have 2 identical effects that just grab. They have a, this searches a different card from the Soul Day, and the Soul Day searches a different card for this. And the monsters they summon are different kinds of monsters, but their effects are so identical. This is your E-Soul Day. If I can break it down to that equivalence, you'll understand how broken this Link monster really is. It's basically, a Soul Day is mimicking Phantom Quartz. It's really good. You want to play 2 because it will come up. If 1 gets Valored, you make the 2nd one and use this Fusion Summon effect. And then you just make sure that you link off with this one first. And then put this one back to your extra deck for a rainy day. So I play 2. 2 is a perfect number. We have Firewall. You don't actually use his special summon from hand effect. I only ever make Firewall if somebody has Valor and Impermanence. When they have Valor and Impermanence, like for example, like, which I hate that it happens, but I get Droll. Like, I got Drolled. Well, I got Valor first, played through the Valor. Got Impermanence, that really hurt. But I got Impermanence after the Droll. So it literally forced me to make the Firewall, which I only started playing because it plays through hand traps. And what I ended up doing was added back double Obsidian, and I still did my FTK after playing through all 3 of those hand traps, which is insane. I think if he had Ash, that would have been the icing on the cake, because I was not able to chain block my Block Dragon because he hand trapped the crap out of me. Who opens 3 hand traps? But, you know, if he had 4 hand traps, which would be 4 of his 5 cards, even if he stopped my turn, he would be literally playing with, what, 2 cards in hand? So, yeah, the Firewall is only there for your rainy days. So, like, literally, you just make firewall when you get hand trapped more than twice. If you get hand trapped twice, you don't need to make firewall. Third hand trap, make your firewall, do your shenanigans. Then we have Unicorn. It's the only way you can FTK now because you put your Master Diamond back into your extra deck and then resummon him. We have Curios, another way to make Block Dragon, another way to do your FTK. If you don't open with Brilliant Fusion, but you have Gem Knight Fusion and certain cards, like if you're able to make Phantom Quartz, you can make Curios, which means you make Block Dragon, which means you end up winning the duel anyways. And we have Binary Sorcerers, and we have Link Spider. Link Spider is here because of Curios. So what you do is you basically Obsidian and Prismara. Obsidian and Tourmaline for Prismara in his zone. Prismara gets summoned from the grave because of Obsidian's effect. I'm trying to find Prismara so I can show you. And then you just turn Prismara into Link Spider. What is this? Earth Rock, Earth Thunder, Earth Cyburst. Same attribute, different types. Link them off, go into your Curios, send your Block Dragon, win the duel. And that is it for my update on Gem Knight FTK. The deck is still alive. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't ban Lapis Lazuli, this deck will always be able to FTK. But you know what's so funny? If they ban Lapis Lazuli, this deck will become an extra link deck. And I might go back to playing Rock Stun because I love the Rock Stun variant. It's very competitive. Kind of just negates summons, negates spells, negates traps, and negates monster effects. And it just has an answer to everything. And it has Floodgates, it has Fossil Dyna, it has the Barrier Statue. So if worst case scenario, I'll go back to my Gem Knight Rock Stun. If you guys are curious about that, go ahead and search it on my YouTube channel. Just search out Gem Knight Rock Stun Link Spam. You'll find out a Firewall Turbo build, you know, doing the Tri-Gates, the Baguskas, the Triple Firewall. This was when Firewall was at 3. And you'll also find the Rock Stun variant in the middle of that as well. But thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys for showing love to my channel. And y'all have a beautiful night. And stay tuned. I am going to update the Zephyrs, but I'm still experimenting. Peace.